I just started recording.
And yes, I am recording as of right this minute as well.
All right, we're live.
That's
Coming
right.
to you.
Again this week.
What? Huh?
I said again this week.
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah,
A little hiatus.
we are. Little one.
Small hiatus. So, since this hiatus, we are doing episode 6 now.
That is right. That is true. Episode 6.
Woohoo.
So, welcome everyone. My name is Brandon.
I'm Mike.
And I'm your beloved Chico.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite. Okay.
You have now entered the Henry Lovers Podcast. Sit back and enjoy the soothing voices of your hosts, Mike, Brandon, and Chico, as they ramble on about absolutely nothing for the next hour.
So, now that I have everything situated, I actually didn't write down anything for this week just because I could probably bore you all to tears with all of the health bullshit that's been going on with me. Seriously, if it's not one thing, it's another. It's getting a little old.
Well, you're alive, right?
Yeah, I'm totally recording.
You're not a zombie, so.
Yeah. Oh, no, you said you're
Did
alive.
surgery get complicated?
Well, so I actually didn't get to have surgery. Turns out that I just had like a severely sprained muscle or something. So, okay, let me backtrack here.
So your South Carolina doctor don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, well, so here's the thing. The doctor that I saw the first time, who was like a complete and total douche, just kind of brushed me out the door, said, take some aspirin, whatever. He didn't give me the answers that I was looking for. Turns out that he could have been possibly kind of, sort of, maybe a little bit correct, but not really because I needed time to heal. Because under his directions, I ended up re-aggravating the strain that I put on my muscle. So, I went and saw this other doctor, and he was like a well-renowned surgeon in the area. And he sat me down. I had like a list of questions written out and everything else. And, I was like, basically, what's the deal? What's going on? And he said that it looks like it's probably something that is just like more or less, in his words, how I was made. That I probably like stressed it working. You know what I mean? So it was like, it's not a hernia, but it's something very similar to it. So you could still see a little bit of like guts and stuff popping out, but they weren't actually popping out.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's like, that's essentially just how you were made. Whatever. It's no big deal. But it. There is some inflammation. It's obviously like because when he pushed or whatever, it was tender. So he's like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you get a CT, which is a CAT scan, and, just to double check, just to make sure that there's no hernias or anything else. So I'm like, all right, cool. Well, it was back and forth with the workman's comp people. I had an appointment for Friday. This appointment, by the way, was last Wednesday, a week ago today. So I had an appointment for the CT on Friday. Everything was going good, and then, like, literally at 5 o'clock on Thursday, I got a call, like, no, sorry, by the way, you're totally not doing the CT. Workman's Comp is playing hardball again. So I get a call on Friday saying, okay, well, we worked it out, and we're going to reschedule it for Tuesday at a different radiology place. So I was like, okay, cool. Get a call back on Monday. Hey, sorry, turns out Workman's Comp's playing hardball again, and we're actually not going to be able to get you in to this office, so it is what it is. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm so sick of this crap. So I call my boss, and I talk to him, and I tell him everything that's going on. And I guess he either talked to, like, our, like, middleman, more or less, like the person that's kind of dealing with the Workman's Comp people because we're tired of dealing with them. Mm-hmm. And she got me an appointment again yesterday for a CT, and that was buckets of fun. I had to drink this nasty, like, just goop. I posted something on Facebook, and I was like, the best part of waking up is vanilla-flavored irradiated sulfur in a cup. And, dude, it's just, it was awful. Like, have you ever tasted something so gross, like it gives you chills and makes you shiver? Like,
I can think of one thing. When I was younger, they gave me some type of medicine that made me really high. And it was like a cough syrup type thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, yeah, that's all I think of.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't anything like that. I didn't get high off of this, but I
This one
felt
wasn't enjoyable.
No. I felt like I was gonna puke, and it was like a liter of this freaking nasty fluid or whatever that I had to drink.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
It's a ton.
Drink it down.
Yeah. So I get into the office, and they're like, "Oh, how are you doing?" I was like, "Well, I've been better. I just had to drink the equivalent of like horse semen, but whatever." And
I wasn't gonna say it, but
no, that's
yeah.
that's literally. I mean, I didn't necessarily put it like that, but I referenced that in a way so it
Just
would be
thinking of
polite.
that episode of Wild Boys.
Oh,
when
God.
they, jerked off the horse.
Yeah. Think about that. Like, that's basically what they did. They jerked off a horse into this cup and gave it to me and said, drink this, and then wait 45 minutes for it to hit your digestive system. So, anyway, I go into the thing to get the CAT scan done, and they're like, oh, by the way, we need to hook up this IV. And I was like, excuse me? Like, nobody told me about an IV. And they're like, yeah, it's the contrast fluid. It's, like, helps, you know, whatever. Like, it helps the images show more clean. And I was like, oh, okay, great, awesome. So basically you're pumping even more radiation into my veins to get this stuff to go. I was like, great. And she's like, now you need to let me know if there's any side effects, basically saying, like, if this goes wrong, it's going to go wrong real quick, so let me know. And so they pump it in there, and she's like, oh, by the way, you're going to get really warm and really flush at first. You're going to get an awkward, like, metallic taste in your mouth, and then it's going to feel like you peed yourself. You didn't, I promise. Whatever.
Nah.
So sure enough, my entire body goes like hot, like just I jumped into a hot tub like after leaving, you know, an ice cold bath or something like that, you know. And then I get this like I just choked down a handful of pennies, and then instead of like getting like the sensation that I peed on myself, my asshole was on fire, like. It literally, dude, it was the worst. Like, it felt like I had eaten nothing but Taco Bell all day and then reaped the rewards afterwards. It was horrible. It only lasted for like 30 seconds, but that accumulative like 30 seconds was just the worst. So they send me on my way, and I come home, and I'm just nauseous from this drink. And I go upstairs, and I just shit my brains out for like 5 minutes because there's nothing nutrient about it, so it literally goes right through you. And, you know, I just slept for the rest of the day, man. I was just exhausted.
Just sleep it off.
Yeah. Oh, and the greatest part about it was I had to do this at like 7:30 in the morning. So,
nice.
Yeah, that was a great start to the day.
Day gone.
And then today, I get the results back from the CT, and this is where it starts getting fun. So I go to my follow-up appointment with the doctor, and he's basically explaining, like, well, I've read the notes and whatever, and it looks like you're good. My original diagnosis is probably what was going on. You probably just really severely strained a muscle, and, you know, you just needed a lot of rest and some anti-inflammatories. And I was like, okay, did they send you the actual pictures? Because I know that a lot of times, like, surgeons prefer to look at the pictures themselves. And he's like, or because I had requested them to, and he's like, oh, the nurse just gave me the notes. Let me check real quick. So he goes, and he checks it out, and, you know, you hear the nurse and him talking in, like, hushed tones behind the door. So then he comes in, and he looks a little exasperated, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. This is not something that's not a good look for any doctor, especially a surgeon. Like, this man literally, like, saves people's lives for a living. Most surgeons have God complexes. So he comes in, and he's like, well, I noticed something, and they marked it off as minor, but it's pretty, like, massive. What did he say? Enormous, I believe is the word that he used. So it looks like I have a mass, which he doesn't think is a cyst, but more or less in my kidneys somewhere. And, yeah, so that's great. And he said, I noticed it in both of them, but it's definitely pronounced in your right kidney. He's like, that one, it's just a very, very large. And he's like, listen, I'm not like a urologist. I'm not like a kidney doctor. It's not what he said. He said the actual word for a kidney doctor. I don't know what it is. But anyway, he's like, so I'm not going to like speculate. I'm not going to like, you know, tell you that it's cancer or whatever else. But I'm going to refer you to a doctor who would be my pick to go to. And he's basically like, you know, we'll get you in as soon as we can, and hopefully we can get that taken care of. So now I'm sitting here, and like I called my mom, and I was like, so I have something wrong with my kidneys. How awesome is that? And she's like, excuse me? And then I proceeded to explain that whole thing. And so, I mean, you know, my mom, she's not a religious person, neither am I, but she was like, you know, there's obviously some type of something. So she had a come to God or come to Jesus moment when I had said, you know, that I had found that on the kidneys thing. But then she called me back later, and she was like, listen, you know, I was thinking about it. And apparently I'd had enlarged kidneys when I was a baby. Like, they found it in utero that I had enlarged kidneys, which I guess could possibly have led to whatever is going on with my kidneys now. But Yeah, so right now it's kind of all a mystery, and I don't know what's going on with my kidneys, but hopefully, next week I'll have answers on that because, this show is all about suspense and my health.
Oh, man.
So yeah, that's...
Well.
And on top of that, I haven't been able to do anything. So I literally have been sitting on the couch and, playing video games and shit, which seems amazing, but after the first day or two, it really just... Yeah, oh god, it loses all... It's awful.
I
So,
know that feeling.
yeah. But the good
So
news
that
is I'm
been-
totally good to go back to work on July 5th.
Yeah,
And
I
that's,
know that feeling
yeah.
from when I tore my MCL on my left leg. I couldn't walk for 3 weeks.
Oh, Jesus.
No
Dude,
good.
it's awful. Mine was, I guess, just a severely sprained muscle or whatever. But, seriously, I run out of things to do, and then I can't do anything because I'm not allowed to lift anything. And I'm just looking around, and I'm like, all right, I guess I'll play this video game for another hour. And then
Did you play a
finally...
lot of guitar?
Oh, God, yeah. I've written, almost 2.5 songs. It's...
Nice.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
good.
Yeah, that part was...
You can write a whole album
oh, my
about
God.
your health struggles.
Right?
be great.
This one that I actually was working on when you guys called, I just finished the solo to, and
Nice.
dude, it's probably one of the best guitar solos I've ever written. The name of the song is called Innocence, and of course, with me, it's got a really nice, bright, synth kind of tone, and then a heavier, distorted guitar, and then of course the lyrics are just going to be dark as hell. But
Excellent.
the guitar solo is very bright, very clean, very vibrant, and I love it. It's awesome.
Nice.
So when you say dark as hell, you really like Hail Satan kind of stuff?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wrote a song. Well, it was a poem. Really, it started as a poem, and it was called "Rainy Days," the final cut. And literally, what it was is about this girl who essentially was, molested by her father for years, and then ended up killing herself. And it was from the perspective of this guy that she went to school with that had always loved her but never got a chance to tell her. So he's basically saying this at her funeral. You know what I mean? But the instruments and everything convey a very innocent, almost childlike kind of thing, and the lyrics are just buzzkill central, just awful. So that's what I mean by dark.
All right. Sounds great.
Yeah, well, you've probably heard it a million times. Rainy Days or whatever.
I've heard the other one. I know the first song you're talking about. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. It'll be good.
Yep. But that's all on my YouTube page. I mean, since I brought it up,
Yeah.
actually, let me write that down real quick, and I'll be sure to post that on the Facebook page for the podcast.
Nice.
Oh,
Very
also,
nice.
the mead update on the mead. If I hadn't told you guys, Brittany and I have made.
Oh, mead.
Yep, we made mead, fruit mead
Nice.
with pears and stuff. It's fermenting beautifully. I'm really stoked.
So what's the process for that? How do you start making the mead?
Actually, it was really easy. We had to acquire honey, which was probably the most expensive part of it.
Yeah. How much honey?
Well, we used, let's see, 6 pounds, I think, 5.5 pounds of honey.
Okay.
And I mean, it's not
How
not
much
as
mead does this make though? What's the ratio? We got obviously you got the fruit.
2.5 gallons.
Okay.
So okay. So actually, I have the recipe
5
right
gal
right
of
here.
honey.
So yeah, I got
2.5 gal.
yep. It's six
fruit.
pounds of honey is what I used. I think I used a little bit less than that.
It's like $30 just in the honey alone.
Well, and we bought fresh honey, homegrown honey, if you will. We didn't use anything from the store, which we did find out that you can buy organic, raw, clean, whatever honey at the store, and you can buy a lot of it for pretty cheap. But we ended up spending, I think, $50 on honey.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But again, you can get it cheaper at the store, still raw, organic, whatever. It's just not bought quote unquote locally. But it is still pure honey. But anyway, so we did that, and then I used 5 pears, 1 full vanilla bean, about I think 2 teaspoons of nutmeg, and then 2 gallons of spring water. So what I did was essentially I kind of made applesauce out of the pears. So I put the vanilla bean in, a little bit of water and a little bit of sugar, and just kind of mashed it up until it was literally the consistency of applesauce. And then you take the spring water and you take the honey and you add it all into a container with the pear stuff, and then you do take like a yeast, like a wine yeast or something like that. And then I made a starter for it. You don't necessarily have to make a starter for it.
What's a starter? Is that like a hot water or something?
Well, yeah. Essentially, what it is you take like a
just to activate it.
Well, it's about 104 degrees water.
Okay.
And then I researched the hell out of this, but it's just a little bit of citric acid or just juice from a lemon, and that essentially helps kind of invigorate the yeast. And then you use some yeast nutrient, which is more or less vitamins for the yeast. A little bit of sugar, and then like some warm water, and then you let it sit for, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 hours. I think I actually let mine sit for close to 10 hours. But what that does is it essentially helps build a colony of yeast, so it's really, really, really like strong whenever it goes in. So that way, it ferments really, really well. So right now we have been fermenting it for 11 days. And after a month, you need to rack it, which means you basically transfer it from one container to another. And but it's...
When can you drink it, though?
Well, okay,
Can you drink it then, or do you have to wait?
Yeah, it's a 3-month process just for fermenting. So you ferment it for month intervals. So we have it in a bucket right now, like a 5-gallon bucket with an air seal, so that way no bacteria or anything gets into it and messes it up. And then you transfer it to something else, a different container that's clean. And I have like a 5-gallon carboy that I'm going to put it in. But you essentially transfer it in and leave all of the chunks. So all of the pear and yeast and all of the like dead stuff at the bottom, we'll leave that, and then we'll just transfer the liquid. Well, there's still more yeast in the meat itself, so that's where the second racking comes. So after another month, you transfer it in. And then once the 3rd month is up, you bottle it. And then you have to wait 6 weeks, so basically a month and a half, until it's ready to drink. Now,
after the bottling?
Yeah, after the bottling.
That. Mm-hmm. So we're in like 4.5 months.
Yeah, basically 4.5 months until you can drink it. But then after that,
man.
Well, see, here's the good thing about it is if we end up coming in November, I will have a bottle of mead that will be able to be drank.
Okay.
So that's what I'm hoping for. But nice. Let's see. What was I going to say?
Good time.
Yeah. And yeah, exactly, right? And the funny thing is that Brittany and I's 1-year anniversary is ironically November 11th. So it's literally, I think,
perfect.
Yeah, like 2 weeks before that is when we'll be able to start drinking it. But we're going to make a bunch of bottles, and then we're going to make some smaller bottles. I'm going to get just probably some beer bottles or something like that. And I'm going to try to age them for 3 months after the bottling. So, basically, 3 months after the month and a half. And then it'll be like a 6-month interval, and then we're going to also try like a year. So that way we can see like what the flavor profiles, like how they mature and everything. Because I've heard that like the 3-year mark is like the sweet spot for a mead.
Nice.
Yep. So I'm pretty stoked.
That'd be good, man.
Oh yeah. Well,
I've like thought about doing stuff like that. I just not patient enough at all.
Oh well, it's really easy too because you don't even really have to think about it. Like it's literally been sitting in our closet for 11 days because you have to keep it in like a cool, dark place. Yeah, dude, it's kind of funny because you can hear it bubbling at night. So like Brittany and I are laying in bed. Yeah, like Brittany and I are laying in bed, and because you have to have it like when it ferments or whatever, you have to have like an airlock. And right now, I lost the bung more or less, like the rubber stopper and like the water thing. So I had to use like a piece of rubber hose or whatever and put it into a Patron bottle with water in it.
Nice.
Oh yeah. So anyway, what it does is it like when it ferments, it produces CO2, which creates pressure, and then the only way for that pressure to escape is through the hose. So, you put the hose in some water, and then it bubbles. So, like, we'll be, like, laying down in bed just talking or whatever, and then all of a sudden you'll hear, like, a... like, just from the closet, and it's, like, the funniest shit ever. But...
That's great.
Yeah, that's, like, one of the only things that I've had to look forward to while I'm just sitting on my ass.
Well, at least you're doing something,
Yeah.
That's great.
Have you been reading a lot?
No, see, that's the thing. Like, I'll read online stories and things like that, but I'm not a real big book person. Reading like physically reading makes me exhausted for some reason. Like it just tires me out. And I think it's because my mom used to read to me when I was a kid. So like, you know, when it was time for bed or whatever, my mom would read to me or something like that to like get me to lay down for a nap. She'd read to me. So now the process of reading just knocks me out.
Yeah, dude. When I hurt my knee, I played my baseball, played video games quite a bit, and I read a lot on nuclear technology.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've
So
definitely.
I learned quite a bit. Not necessarily how to make bombs, just like although it is semi-easy to make bombs if you can get your hands on the equipment. But
Yeah.
that's beside the point. I mean, just like how easy it would be to like turn a reactor into like such a renewable resource. It's incredible. That's why they put it. That's why they put it on ships now compared to burning coal.
That totally makes sense. Well, I mean, I'm definitely not like nuclear over here, but I've been. So let's see. I think 2 weeks ago, Brittany convinced me to swap out my deodorant because the deodorant I used like Old Spice or whatever, and that's the stuff that I've always used. But recently, it's been making my armpits like break out and like peel and really, really, really bad. So I bought some type of like, you know, free range, organic, gluten free, I don't fucking know, whatever, deodorant. And so I got really curious, like, what the hell's in this? You know what I mean? Because I haven't had a single problem with it at all. I'm not into antiperspirants because I don't really mind sweating, but I smell when I sweat. So, you know, deodorant is good. But anyway, literally, you can make deodorant with like 5 or 6 ingredients. So we had talked about
the main ones.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's the main one I think is like starch. So like arrowroot starch is what a lot of people have advocated for. And then you do like fragrances, oils, things like it's basically like the same process as making soap. So I was telling Brittany that like, you know, maybe we could just start doing that because we went to a farmer's market last weekend, I believe, or no, the weekend before that. And we got a bar of soap for Lainey, which is Brittany's little girl. And because she's got like really bad eczema, like skin problems and stuff. So we were like, okay, well maybe if we start using like, you know, kind of homemade soaps and things like that, it'll be better. And sure enough, like we all started using it because it just works wonderfully. So even looking into like making soap, like I came up with an entire recipe that I thought would be like the best just from researching like what is eczema, like what it does. Because I used to have it when I was a kid too, and I still have it like, you know, every once in a while. But I literally came up with a recipe for a bar of soap that would theoretically cure all of our skin problems, like from like eczema and rashes and stuff like that. And then the same thing with deodorant. I came up with my own recipe for like deodorant just off of what I had researched and what I had seen and whatever that isn't necessarily an antiperspirant because the only way to do that is to like clog your pores, which isn't good for your skin, but to essentially give you a longer lasting odor protection without, you know, screwing with anything in your anatomy or putting aluminum in your pores. So, yeah. So I do that stuff, I guess.
Very
like,
nice.
But I haven't really, you know, read up on nuclear physics and, you know, trying to make a time machine or anything.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
I mean, that's...
the flux capacitor, man. That's the next step.
That's the next step. Hey, if you start building that, you let me know. I'll hop on that one. Just because I want to be Doc Brown. So what's new with all you guys? I've been rambling on for about 20 minutes.
I heard a great story
Oh,
that needs to be told.
Are you going to tell it?
It was in the New York Post. And it's a great story I heard at work. Our welder was telling it to me. This guy, he provides the world a real service. He's a 40-year-old man. He's a professor at CUNY. And what he does is he offers to help women out, either lesbians or just women who don't have men in their lives, and he supplies them with sperm, and he'll either have sex with them and get them pregnant that way, or he'll go to the local Wendy's and go to the bathroom and do his thing, and then provide them with a sample in which they can go to the bathroom and do the deed.
Wow.
So,
Wait, did you say a Wendy's?
he goes, he just goes to, the local, whatever. Oh, hey, meet me at Wendy's at 3:00 on Sunday, and he helps him out, because you don't have to go to the sperm bank and pay money. No. This guy doing America a great service.
Yeah. Jesus.
22 kids, boys. 22 of them.
20. It's just not.
No, this is great. Yes. This is great.
You know that for every child that he has that's a boy, that's an increased chance that your daughter is going to end up marrying this man's child, right?
That's not going to happen. Statistically, not going to happen.
Well, statistically, every child.
What's wrong with that? This guy he's a professor.
Is he really a professor? Doctorate. What is his doctorate in again? Did you say that? Math.
It says, Kingsborough math professor. Yeah.
Wow.
What? You guys aren't on board with this at all?
Listen,
I'm surprised.
I mean, good for you. You're getting some. I'm more of the domesticated type. I like to sit on the couch and watch
half the time
movies.
He doesn't even get any. He just goes to Wendy's and goes to the stall.
Right, but is he getting paid for this? Is it
No, he does it for free out of the goodness of his heart.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds like this guy has some ego problems.
What's wrong? This guy is great. This guy is so good.
It's just
the ego problems is when you have to pay for some donor. You could go out to the bar at 3 a.m. and shack up with Joey from down the road, but no, these women are being responsible.
That's right. They're going to a Wendy's and getting their sperm from a math professor, quote unquote.
Yes. He's got a T-shirt that says "World's Greatest Dad."
Oh, does he actually keep up with all of his children? Does he pay them all child support?
From what I heard, the first 3 he didn't sign any agreements, so yes, he had to pay for the first 3, and then after that he now signs a agreement that he's not responsible.
Wow.
Because what you do is you go find the women that don't want a guy. They just they got the lesbians that they can't on their own. So they want some guy that's not going to be there or care, but they want to, they're going to be selective about it. They're going to get the guy that, this guy, they might turn out all right. Professor.
The funny thing is that, by not charging these women, I'm pretty sure that makes it legal. If he were to charge them, I'm sure that's probably a fucking felony or something like that. But, by literally not charging these women a dime.
I don't know if it'd be a felony. It might be tax infringement because they're. He's not claiming any of that, so the IRS would be like, hey, well, it's not even the IRS. It'd be the federal government saying, hey, we want our cut.
Give us some money. We want your love.
We want 33% right now.
Of your...
Yeah. Man, that's...
Maybe you can pay them in sperm.
Right. This has made 22 families, couples, whatever, very, very happy. How much is this worth to you? It's a cup of steaming man juice.
I thought it was.
It is definitely very interesting for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's
a weird. It's definitely a strange concept that people are actually they're not fighting against it. They're actually I don't know if you're actually being serious that you agree with this guy, but somebody's actually taking it as a real, a real proposition. It's like, hey, this guy is pretty successful, seems to be relatively smart, so
he's 6'2". 6'2".
So he's taller. He's taller than the average male.
He fits all the check marks.
Yeah, I was.
He probably doesn't smoke. He probably has no cancers in his family's history. He's probably a world-class stud here. Okay.
I mean, the ideal gene pool.
Offering himself to you.
See, that's where it gets a little muddy for me, though. That you have to I want a child, but it's only if this person is 6'2", a math genius, and has no history of cancer and whatever. The whole point of genetics is you're not supposed to have a genetic lottery. That just brings up the whole the rich eventually genetically modifying their babies to be like the perfect humans. You know what I mean?
That's where we're going, baby. Let's go.
Nah. I'll stick with the
I'm
imperfections.
not down with that, but selective breeding that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well,
it's just being
see,
smart.
I can agree with that. Now, okay, I can agree with that when it comes down to like removing harmful things, like you said, like cancers and things like that. That totally makes sense. It's kind of like breeding a crop. You know what I mean? If you can kind of breed a crop in such a way that it is more nutrient and is more resistant to bugs and things like that without using pesticides, then great. That's awesome because they've been doing that for generations. In fact, if you look at the original banana, it was actually no bigger than your thumb and was bitter as hell. But through, selective breeding and whatever else over centuries, now we have bananas that are, like 10 inches long and they taste like amazing. They taste like bananas. So I could totally get on board with that. And I guess I could also see, like, maybe hair color and stuff, just because, like, if a doctor were to come up to me and be like, hey, do you want your kid to have red hair? I'd be like, yes, I want my child to have red hair. Make that happen. Because, you have to have two recessive parents in order to have a redheaded child. I don't care about the eye color and intelligence and whatever else. Like, that's fine. But as long as they don't have, like, leukemia when they're 3, and I know that they can write that out, then I'm totally cool with that.
You gotta have blonde hair and blue eyes. You need to be 6'4".
All right.
Thick accent.
A thick German accent?
Yeah.
Uh,
the Furian race, right? Furian. That's not it.
No, it's
That's freaking Vin
A.
Diesel.
It starts with an A.
Aryan race.
Yeah, there you go. Aryan.
Dirt, 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 dirt.
The Führer is what they called Hitler.
Das Führer.
Yeah.
Mein Führer.
Just goes to show how completely racist I am. I couldn't even remember what the Aryan race was.
Yeah.
The Furian race. They're the guys with the glowy eyes and they can see in the dark and they,
The
bow
Lycans.
before no man.
Yeah, vampire babies. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
since the last time that we had the podcast, I competed in the tournament, and
I saw a picture, Chico.
yeah, we won.
You guys are looking sharp.
What kind of tournament? Was it a paintball tournament?
Yeah.
Pool tournament.
Oh, pool tournament.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
Yeah,
Oh, so that's not the picture I saw.
Well, this might have been a different picture that you saw, but we won that pool tournament, so my team has to go to Vegas to compete again.
Going to
What?
Vegas. All right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
When are you going to
Make
Vegas?
some money.
August 11th.
August 11th. No shit. August 11th.
Can you do a live from Las Vegas?
Oh, that's when my lease is up. I was like, wait, what is August 11th?
So I will be gone a Thursday through a Tuesday, which is the
Nice.
16th.
Do
So
a
I'll be
live
back. I'll be back
show.
Tuesday night. So
Very cool.
I'll try and have some
Cool,
stories
man.
for you guys.
Nice.
Hell yeah, dude. So, is this going to be like a personal day that you have to take off of work, or is work totally cool with this?
No, I actually put off for this time back in February because in the event that I win, I gotta have the time blocked off.
Well, yeah, that totally makes sense, actually. See, look at you
Chico-
adulting and
Chico
thinking
planned
ahead. Right? Look at that.
Yeah.
Whether win or lose,
Alright,
Chico's like,
Chico.
eh.
Well, I can see the thing is I can always move the vacation, but I blocked it off for that reason.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's good.
that totally makes sense.
Nice.
I thought you were
Good luck.
coming down here for that, or like around that time, to like see your girlfriend or something.
No, she's actually here.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
she's
Well, there you go.
I'm watching TV right now.
Nice.
Just blowing her off to do the podcast. All right. Good to see your priorities are in line, Chico. I hope she doesn't listen to this. If you do, I apologize. I didn't mean it.
She'll be fine.
Just keep it a dark, dark secret you never tell anyone about.
That's right.
That's what we have to do with Mr. Larson. We gotta get him on here and just don't worry about it. No one's gonna listen.
Dude, I
You know,
wish
it-
Larson would get on here. I'd say
Right?
so many funny things to him. No idea.
Man, that's funny. I remember, like, when I first met Larson, I think either he thought that I hated him or, like, he was definitely weird when I first met him. I don't...
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, Lars is a weird dude to begin with. He's
we're all
definitely
weird.
Well,
I think,
true.
I think the very first thing I said to Larson was something about jerking off, just to mess with him. And ever since then, he was cool with me, you know?
Yeah. Oh, Larson's, man. See, here's the thing. Like, I have, like, of course, like, grand ideas, like, ideas of grandeur or whatever of, like, where the podcast could go and all this other shit. And, like, you know, attending, like a con or something like that. Not like a big one, obviously. I don't think we'll ever be, like, as big as, like, a Comic-Con or Dragon Con or something like that. But, like, a local con. And then even being able to do, like a... what the hell are they called? Basically, like talking to people. You know what I mean? Just
Great.
not kind of like a meet and greet, but there's a specific word for it in the con world where like you go into a separate room and then you have like these celebrities or whatever, and they'll come and they'll talk to you about like what they do. They'll have a Q&A. It's more or less a meet and greet. But anyway, like, could you imagine having Lars on a meet and greet or like Q&A or something like that?
That'd be great.
That would be the funniest shit ever. Like. Especially if you like just pump them full of a couple shots real quick. Just like, here, drink this flask.
You get that, and you have like
drunk.
an even more special guest, like some like super hot cosplay chick. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. You
See,
definitely you definitely
He's never gonna do it now. You guys are sitting here just freaking.
Well, no, and that's one of the reasons why I hate that we don't live close. Like, because if I lived like 2 hours away or something like that, I would totally drive to Norwich every day to do the podcast or like. Just to be able to do like local cons and things like that, because it's a lot of fun, first of all. And my buddy Scott that I was telling you about that does the Electric City Nerds ECN podcast, his is actually like him and his buddies have this podcast, and it's pretty decently big. They were actually featured in a documentary, if I'm not mistaken, and got to meet all kinds of different like celebrities and stuff, like of the podcasting world. And anyway, they go to like local cons, they go to like anything where they can kind of make an appearance and try to like make their name a little bit bigger so that people listen. They totally do it. And I don't think that they right now make enough to like substitute their incomes, but like they make a pretty decent amount of like side income to the point where like Scott works 2 part-time jobs, like one at Hot Topic and one at like Planet Comics, which is a local comic book store. And he literally pays all of his bills and does all of his shit. Like just working 2 part-time jobs.
That's pretty sweet.
So
that's probably a lot of like the advertising stuff and viewership from YouTube.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, and it's their YouTube stuff actually isn't really that big, but I think they have like a Patreon account, which which you can
get that Patreon money.
Yeah. So I mean, you can pretty much do whatever on that, but like they do a lot of like extra stuff. They give away like T-shirts and stuff, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's a pretty good podcast, actually. I'll probably link that. Let me write that down, too. So I can link that up there. So I have Rainy Days. I'm like looking for something to write on.
Mike, there is going to be a time where we need to get Henry on here. Just so that...
I know. It's funny you mentioned Henry's. I want to know, I linked you guys to something he posted.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think I commented on it, didn't I?
You did. I just wanted to make... I thought the listeners out there really should hear this status update.
Okay. No, you should totally read that.
Go ahead.
June 17th at 3:04 a.m. Can't sleep at 1:30 a.m. What better use of time than to run 5 to 6 miles? I only stopped twice. Once to explain to the Bartlett PD while I was at the park at 1:30 at night. Then I stopped to enjoy the automatic sprinklers at Applebee's. I was hot and not prepared to run that much, but stuff happens. I literally drank from the automatic sprinkler while being judged by everyone that drove by. I was also barefoot. Hashtag tough feet, hashtag calluses. That's our man, Henry, right there,
That's
ladies
right.
and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I'll break down that story. He's running around getting stopped by the cops, barefoot at the park.
See, and let's hold on. Let me stop you there. What exactly do you think when you think of a barefoot man running through the park?
Probably heroin.
Yeah.
Not heroin. I don't know.
No, probably Coke.
Cocaine.
Coke.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's
That's
like Coke.
Be more
or,
energetic.
like, yeah.
Bath
like,
salts.
yeah. Why are your shoes missing?
PCP. I don't know.
But go ahead. Continue though.
No, like there's just everything with that story.
Well, that's what I was gonna like. I thought we were
epitomizes
dissecting it.
Henry, and why I love him.
You know, the only thing that's missing from that is that he would have had a seizure at the end of the night.
In a
maybe
cop's
he
arms
did. He
or
doesn't
something.
know. Who knows?
You know, I'm surprised the sprinkler water didn't send him into it, because if I'm not mistaken, sprinkler water is just like road water and shit, isn't it? Like, it's not hooked up to a
No,
main water
it's-
line.
Probably regular.
No,
tap water.
it's coming from a building. It wouldn't be.
Oh,
just,
okay.
It wouldn't be from the street.
I always thought
Still,
the
I mean,
sprinkler
the
water was
sprinkler
like
heads are probably
disgusting. Oh yeah, I'm sure
terribly
the sprinkler heads
nasty.
are just
It probably
awful.
tastes pretty metallic because of all the metal tubing that it's going through.
Yeah,
I guess at 3 in the morning you don't care,
true.
but anyway, that was great. I saw that and just it made my day.
Look,
Did he ever respond to? I forget which one of you asked, but like if he actually listens to the podcast.
I asked. I don't.
Yeah,
He
Chico
didn't
asked him.
respond.
Yeah, I don't think he ever
Yeah.
did. He's great at just not responding.
Yeah.
If
Well, he
you
is-
if you
he is
harass him through
Henry.
messages, he'll definitely respond. But I don't think.
Oh yeah, right here.
I don't think he actually responds to the post. It's very rare.
Yeah.
The
Man.
heat index is 117. That's a sign we should play Halo all night. And then Chico says, "Have you been listening?"
Yeah.
Nope,
No.
no response.
No response. What a douche.
Classic Henry. No. No, what a douche.
No, what a douche. That's just like a.
What a great individual.
Yes. To not have any responsibilities. And to
Great.
run around barefoot in 3 o'clock in the morning. I remember when I used to do that. Granted, I was pretty much shit-faced, but, you know.
Hey, well, we don't know what his state was. It's
He's
maybe
not allowed to drink alcohol, is he?
you can drink alcohol.
I know, but I know he does.
Do you
but
not
I'm-
remember that Mike's that he just demolished?
Yeah, he drank like an entire suitcase of Mike's Hard Lemonade and wondered why his teeth hurt the next morning. It was ridiculous.
So Mike, now that we're mentioning that, what did you do for your anniversary?
oh yeah. Shit.
Oh,
My pop filter came
my,
off.
my anniversary, we went and played tennis. we let my mom babysit Maya for like an hour. We drove around the convertible for like 20 minutes and then played tennis. Other than that, I think we rented a couple movies and just kind of took it easy. I took the day off from work. Nothing very much, but it was a good day.
Nice.
Oh, great story. I contacted my mom because Aunt Maya's been having some issues and we were trying to figure out what she's allergic to, basically.
Right.
So Emily doesn't eat soy, corn, anything cow related, any nuts, citric acid, and like spicy food. We're thinking it's just spicy foods at this point because she actually had some and then we had another little flare up. But anyway, so my sister is crazy and eats like nearly the same diet. So I got a hold of them. I was like, "Can you guys make us something special?" So I had to make chicken and waffles, fried chicken and waffles for our anniversary, thinking, "Oh, this would be great." And then I call and they're like, "What time do you want me to come pick it up?" And they're like, "Oh, just come over, whatever time." So I come over and I ask them, what's in it, just to verify everything's fine. And everything was fine. They met all the criteria for Emily.
Mm-hmm.
But they also put quinoa in it, in both the chicken and the waffles. And I had quinoa before and violently threw up afterward. So I'm thinking, I guess I'll eat this. But I took like a little tiny piece of chicken, a little tiny corner of a waffle. And about 15 minutes later, I was upstairs puking, laying on the floor, feeling like garbage. So that was
Nice.
about 2 hours.
That sucks, but that's funny.
I just can't eat that crap.
What is it that you can't eat?
Quinoa. It's an ancient grain.
Yeah, it's essentially like what the fuck, chia seeds and things. It's like a superfood essentially. Like it's really rich in like nutrients and vitamins and omega bullshits.
Yeah, Mike, you should just
Quinoa.
eat guacamole.
I love guacamole, dude.
Guacamole.
No guacamole whenever we come up, unfortunately, because Brittany is deathly allergic to avocados and mangoes.
Really?
Really,
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
so the two of the greatest like natural foods on this planet, they're allergic to them.
Oh, she hates it because she didn't used to be. Like, it just happened one day where she just became deathly allergic to avocados and mangoes.
Dude, so in Puerto Rico, mango trees are littered everywhere. They're littered people. They're in just people's backyards. So the way people collect mangoes over there, they're usually about maybe a little bit bigger than the size of your fist. And the sweetest ones are always at the top of the tree because they're the ones getting the most sunlight. So what people do in Puerto Rico is they go to the pool stores and they get those 30-foot poles, and that's how they pick the trees.
Nice.
Yes, that's great.
That's great.
Yeah, because it's got an automatic catcher. You just gotta jiggle it.
Oh my god, I just thought of the worst little joke connection. I'm sorry for this one, but is that why they make good pool boys? I'm sorry, that was terrible. Anyway.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh jeez. Well, it's great that you had at least a decent beginning to your.
No, that was right in
anniversary?
the middle of the day. That was lunch. So it
Oh,
was
I
it was like a solid 2 or 3 hours before, and then like horrible couple hours, and then decent end of the day.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, good then. That's
It was
not terrible.
okay. Yeah, I felt kind of horrible, but I lived.
So what is this diet that Emily is on? Like no nothing essentially is what I'm getting out of that.
A lot of potato chips and
Huh?
a lot of oatmeal.
Potato chips.
Potato chips.
Are we talking like oven roasted potato chips or like deep fried potato chips?
Deep fried potato chips.
Get the fuck out of here! No way.
Yeah.
How is this something that they just concocted, or like is this an actual?
This is what we found out we can eat. Was you go to the store and you're like, okay, can't have corn, can't have soy, can't have milk.
Now I know you can't have milk, but like, is she allergic to all of this shit?
Well, the thing is, we don't know what Maya's allergic to.
Oh,
Something that Emily's eating is making her react. So
gotcha.
we go through the whole process of eliminating all the foods, so then you can slowly reintroduce them.
Right.
Well, everything was almost pretty much cleared up, and then we went back and I made. This is a good example of food that she can eat. So I made some rice. I kind of basically made a bean burrito without like a regular traditional shell. I used romaine lettuce. Just put
Nice.
some rice, some beans. What else? Tomato, onion, and a little salsa in there.
Mm-hmm.
And she ate that, and then like within hours, Maya was reacting. So we think it's either tomato, which I'm allergic to tomatoes, not that badly, but so we're thinking maybe it's that or just spicy food in general. So
Now is Maya getting like a rash or something like that, or is it like breathing
she's
problems?
had blood in her poop
Oh Jesus,
and green poop.
interesting. Well, I know green
So-
poop for a baby's not good, but I shit green all the time, so.
Yeah, I don't know. Our doctors, I feel, are largely incompetent, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, the blood thing is definitely no
Well,
bueno,
the main
but
thing is how is she doing? She's fine. She's happy. She's not irritable.
right.
It's just she's a regular, normal, happy baby, and just for some reason, she had blood in her poop like 4 times probably in a couple days, and that's when we told the doctors and got all nervous. And then she would been fine for like 3 weeks, and then just reacted the other day after we had the spicy food. So
Gotcha. That makes sense. Now, is Emily still doing like a vegan thing?
see, well, we were eating. We bought a quarter cow from Amish guy
Okay.
because we've got certain people that we'll buy from.
Right.
And he's one of them. So we were eating that, but then Emily like asked the doctors like, "Oh, can we have beef still?" And the doctor said, "Yeah, that's fine." And then Emily looked up online because like it wasn't clearing up. She was eating beef all the time because what can you eat? Like,
Right.
hamburgers are easy to make a beef patty or whatever. So she kept eating that, and Maya kept reacting, and then she stopped eating that, and like the next day, cleared right up. So then we stopped eating beef. So
crazy.
we got chicken.
Okay. Well, hey, I don't think you guys have like a real bookstore in Norwich anymore, right? Because that local one isn't there anymore.
Yeah, they're gone.
Well, even if you order it on Amazon, you should check out Thug Kitchen Cookbook. And I know that it sounds hilarious, and it's really profane, so you'll have to get past that. But like the recipes in it are pretty much vegan, but you can obviously add meat and stuff to adjust them accordingly. But a lot of the vegan recipes in there, you wouldn't be able to taste the difference. Like Brittany and I actually make them a lot, and Lainey doesn't know the difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't tell her that it doesn't have anything but vegetables in it. But yeah, Thug Kitchen Cookbook. You could probably
I'm
get it
looking
for
at it right now. It looks pretty cool.
yeah. It's like I said, it's profane. So you guys will have to
That's fine. I don't
like
care.
it's literally like put the motherfucking quinoa in with the blueberries and mix that shit. Make sure you don't
And
fucking
I will
burn
not
that
eat
shit.
that.
Well, right, but I'm ad-libbing here. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's
I got
literally
you,
what it sounds like. So I can't read that book out loud when Lainey's around when I'm trying to follow
You
a
do
recipe.
book preview, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to see.
But they have appetizers, breakfast, lunch, dinner, drinks. Like it's
Carpe fucking diem.
yeah, exactly.
Short order shit. Big ass cup of cozy.
Yeah, that's the soups.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, there's a lot of really good stuff in it, and they use a lot of like coconut oil and avocados, things like that. Of course,
yeah.
we've had to substitute some of the stuff, but yeah, I would definitely look into that because the recipes
sure.
are actually phenomenal, and it's literally mostly just beans and stuff. So
That's great.
like the veggie burgers, I'm pretty sure you
Oh yeah,
saw those.
yeah. I saw them. That looked delicious.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to make stuff like that.
Yeah, it's literally came out of that book. So it's definitely a good resource, I guess, if you're trying to eat healthy and try to figure out what Maya's allergic to.
Yeah, that'd be definitely helpful. I'll mention that to them.
Dang,
Get me about that time, boys.
that's right. That's right. Oh, shit. There was something I wanted to say, and I forgot to write it down, and now I forgot.
Nah.
The moment's gone, gone.
Yep. No, I got nothing.
Yeah, just write it down for next time if you happen to remember it.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's what I'll do. Oh, well, I do remember one of the things. The stuff on the list that we had from like 2 weeks ago. I checked out the ranch or whatever.
Yeah?
Yeah. So the Ashton Kutcher, it's pretty decent actually. I've never been a huge fan of Ashton Kutcher, so that threw me off a little bit that he was in it. But what exactly is the dude's role? Like, because I didn't go like deep into it, but I looked in like the Netflix menu and I didn't see his name anywhere.
Jesse Jensen? He's an assistant.
Yeah.
He's an assistant writer.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Okay. An assistant writer. Really? That's cool.
I started to watch that one show you recommended.
Which one? Broadchurch?
No, the comedian with the music.
Oh, Bo Burnham.
Hated it.
Really?
Yeah.
How come?
Randy's so disappointed.
I don't know. Not funny.
Man, Brittany, I thought that shit was hilarious.
I watched about 10 minutes of it and just thinking, this is odd.
Well, he's definitely an odd dude.
He was singing and doing stuff and then like I don't know.
Did he say something anti-religion? Because he's definitely anti-religion. Is that what
He
turned
said
you
some
off?
thing I didn't like. I tried to keep watching, and then I just kept watching, thinking, this guy's kind of shitty.
Oh, Mike, you're breaking
So
my
that-
heart.
Thank you, Mike.
Then I probably watched a documentary on the Roman Empire or something.
I got you. Okay, watch Broadchurch, all right? At least...
Broadchurch, I don't even know.
Broadchurch. I've talked about it like at least 100 times to you.
I don't know. I wasn't listening. I got the married ear.
Broadchurch, all right? It's horribly devastating. It will rip your soul out and spit on it and then not replace it, okay?
Well, that sounds like something I want to do.
It's so good, though, man.
I already had that with Breaking Bad. I don't know if I want to go back through that.
Okay, it's probably worse than Breaking Bad.
Murder of a young boy in a small coastal town brings a media frenzy.
Yeah.
No!
Hell yeah, watch the shit.
No.
You gotta watch that show, man.
I don't need to watch it. No, why would I want to watch that?
Because it's completely devastating, and it makes you
no,
feel everything.
no. I get that enough when I'm watching sports, okay?
Especially
I
with
don't want
Paul
it.
George involved. Oh man.
Chico, man, it's up to you. You got to be the voice of reason here. You got to tell Mike that this show is worth watching.
I've never watched this. So I don't know. I'd actually have to watch it for
Broadchurch,
Sounds-
listen, if your girlfriend's in town and you just want her to like just be completely devastated and do anything she can to like change the subject or the channel, then you know, if you catch my drift. No, it's really it's horrible, but what it is all of these like people in this show are like classically trained actors over in the UK. So they are very, very good at dramatic acting, and this whole show is just it's awful, but it's so good too. Like
No.
It's-
Brandon,
telling
have
you.
you ever watched a show called Bates Motel?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've seen, a couple episodes. I haven't like religiously watched it, but it's the prequel to Silence of the Lambs, right?
Yes.
I thought that was pretty good, actually.
It puts the lotion on the skin,
Yeah.
or it gets the hose again.
Yep.
Dude, so
It's-
Bates Motel, I find the relationship between the mom and that son incredibly creepy.
Oh, it's yeah.
But it's such a like weirdly like captivating show where you just like, man, I don't want to watch this, but I want to watch this.
Exactly. And that's the way Broadchurch is, honestly, is that like
I
it's okay, well, let me just kind of, without too many spoilers or whatever, the first episode kind of opens up, and it's very, again, dramatic, very kind of heavy, but they do have light moments. There are parts that'll make you laugh. But it opens up or whatever to like this kind of montage of like this boy, and it's very artistic, and like, it essentially kind of leads to the police being called out to the beach.
Is there music syncing to it?
Oh yeah, like it's the very ambient kind of like musical type stuff. It's a great show. But anyway,
That was more for Mike. He didn't catch it though.
oh, right, because okay, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what it is, think about like a small town like Norwich, more or less, in the UK. Okay, like it's a small coastal town about the size of Norwich, probably. Well, maybe a little bit bigger, but anyway, in UK. And what it is like what exactly would happen if something that devastating were to happen in a small town like that, where everybody talks, everybody knows everybody else. You know the local plumber because he lives 3 blocks down the road. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it literally just delves into this like local culture and how, the murder of a child essentially just causes this ripple effect where it gets national attention, and like, it just unravels these people's lives completely, and you are literally on the front seat watching it all happen. And that's why it's like, it's devastating in that sense. Like there are parts where like the show literally just rips your heart out. But like for me, like having kind of a tolerance to emotion and not really feeling it that well sometimes, like to be able to sit down and watch a show that completely rips my heart out and then like just shoves it in my face, but then can turn that around within like 5 minutes, and then I'm like, almost screaming at the television, like cheering or something like that. It's amazing. It's an amazing feeling that a show can do that to you. So there you
yeah,
go.
but like sad.
Yes, complex emotions. I know that they're hard to cope with, but
I don't want that. No.
okay. Well, obviously funny didn't work for you, so I figured I'd try sad.
I don't watch. I watch documentaries.
Mike, you would probably like. Well, I mean, it's not a documentary, but you probably like the Ranch too, because that's like
I have that on my watch list, and I had that on there before mention was made of it. I saw Sam Elliott, and I was like, this looks good.
yeah, the guy from
The dude,
yeah,
the guy that talks to the dude at the bar, talks about the bar eating you.
yeah, he's from that '70s show.
Sam Elliott?
No, there's one of the other actors is on there.
Yeah,
Ashton
I know.
Kutcher?
Yeah, the guy that dated the old lady.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yes, Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, he's the one that threw me off in that whole little cast. But I mean, it still wasn't bad though. Like it was a pretty good show.
Yeah, I mean, and
surprised.
he fit the role fairly well. I mean, he's not like the greatest for it, but he, you know, since he is a funny actor, it fits that whole the whole scenery that they're really trying to put on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. I just remembered what it was, and we're about to run out of time, but fuck it. E3. What did you guys think of E3 this year? Did you guys check out any of the clips and stuff?
Oh, boy, did I. We happy few. Very, very nice. Looks great.
So, God of War, I don't know about you guys. God of War is the one that stood out to me the most because I really am digging what they did to it, and I'll actually post the gameplay trailer that I saw for God of War. But I've never really been a huge fan of the franchise, but Brittany was all about it. And so we were kind of talking about it, and then we watched this gameplay trailer, and it went from kind of like button mashing, like combo type stuff to more of like a story arc type feel. I don't know. You'll have to watch the trailer whenever I post it to Facebook.
I watched the trailer.
Yeah?
It looked interesting.
It looked okay. I mean,
I saw
to me,
the whole dynamic with having a kid interesting.
The thing that caught me most about E3 was Crash Bandicoot.
See, that was pretty exciting too, actually.
That was the most exciting thing to me. And so just on a side note about E3, the release information about the updates to the consoles, somebody said it didn't look like it was that big of a deal for PlayStation, but I was like, yeah, but the PlayStation was a little bit stronger than the Xbox One when it came out, and then with this refresh, they essentially made the Xbox One 4 times stronger.
Yeah,
Whereas,
six teraflops, right?
Yeah. So
I don't even know what a teraflop is, but
so to put them, all right. So Mike, are you on a laptop or are you on a tower?
I'm on that horrible, crappy desktop.
All right. So somewhere in your tower, whether it's integrated to the motherboard or whether it's a standalone component, is a graphics card. A graphics card power is measured in the teraflops, so how much it can render at, basically how good can it make the picture look. So to put that into perspective, the computer that you have in front of you is probably equivalent to what your Xbox One can do, more or less, probably a little bit less. And what they're doing with the Xbox One refresh, they're essentially putting a $900 video card wrapped in a Xbox One shell and then shipping that out.
I hope it's cheap. Like if I can get that for $400, I'll do it.
Well, they'll do. Well, they already had introduced that anybody who's upgrading from an Xbox One to that one will have, they'll have a really good trade-in price that's mandated from Microsoft. Like GameStop can't fuck you on that trade. And on top of that, they will give you an added piece that, because they're taking out the port for the Kinect, it's going to be strictly USB. So they're going to give, for people who have Xbox Ones, who currently, and are going to...
Yeah, who have the Kinect.
Well, no, what they're going to do is, if you have an Xbox One that you're trading it in, they're going to give you an adapter free of charge, rather than you having to buy it as a separate piece now.
Nice.
So that was another cool thing. So the update might cost you $200 out of pocket, maybe $150.
That'd be fine. For the extra power, that sounds great.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be able to run 4K at 60 frames pretty easily.
Not that I'll have a 4K TV for another 10 years, but,
Yeah.
I'll have the option.
Well, TVs come down in price really fast. I mean...
it takes me a while to upgrade. I'm just that guy.
Sure. I mean, LCDs came out like 6 years ago, and then 3 years later LEDs came out, and now LEDs are about as cheap as LCDs were for like the similar comparison. And
yeah. Well, Brittany and I went window shopping, so to speak, for TVs probably about a week or so ago, just because her TV's old as shit. But we actually found a 4K TV at Walmart for like $500, $600 or something like that.
Really?
I mean, yeah, it wasn't massive. It was only like a 32 or something like that inch TV.
Sure, but you
But,
can get maybe you get like a 40, maybe I think 47 inch or 46 inch or whatever it is for like $1,000, which is expensive for a TV because nobody wants to spend that. But like that price is steadily dropping,
Oh yeah,
so it won't be like crazy to go for a 4K TV maybe this holiday season when they drop them down to like $600 for a 47 inch. So who knows?
Yeah, that sounds good though.
oh yeah. So just out of curiosity though, going back to the games, did you guys happen to see any gameplay for Resident Evil 7?
Oh, that looks great, especially in VR.
See, I had mixed emotions on that one actually because it looks like they're moving more towards the paranormal stuff and trying to make it kind of like a Silent Hill game, which
That's fine.
I mean it's cool, but it's not really Resident Evil. You know what I mean?
Well,
So like
I mean,
trying to make it a quote unquote sequel or something like that, it just seems weird.
I've heard a lot of mixed, like, yeah, some people have said that, but being in like one building, exploring that certain area, not having it be this action running gun game, but like a silent, yeah, not silent, but like a slow, work your way through it.
There were a lot of companies that weren't there this year, which made me disappointed. Like Activision wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the big Nintendo companies weren't there either.
There's one company there that was supposed to be there. I'm not sure if you guys had heard this or not, but Rockstar was supposed to be there. And supposedly they were supposed to be the very last trailer that Sony was going to show at their press conference. But due to the shooting, Rockstar decided to pull their trailer for Red Dead Redemption 2. Because rumor has it that in that trailer, this guy goes into a bar and shoots up everybody in the bar. So that's something I've been hearing about, which that was because it leaked out ahead of time that it was going to be available, and you kept seeing backward compatible Red Dead Redemption for Microsoft, and then it all kind of just disappeared and never came about.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that though. I mean, obviously, with it being that close in proximity to the shooting and everything, if E3 was like today, even Rockstar would probably get a lot of shit for showing something like that at E3.
Yeah.
I think you'd get away with it though. It was like the next day. You definitely couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I'm eagerly anticipating that trailer though when it does
Oh, yeah.
come out. I'm thinking Gamescom probably.
Well, and that's the other thing too, is that a lot of these big companies were talking about how it's not that they weren't necessarily ready, but like I know that Sony actually held back with like a Square Enix, and I know Nintendo held back, and they just showed like Zelda and stuff like that. But all of them actually have like massive projects that are coming out later this year and early into next year.
Yeah.
Like Square Enix, for instance, has Kingdom Hearts coming out, I think, at like early 2017, and they were originally going to do something on Kingdom Hearts 3 because that's like one of the biggest releases for Kingdom Hearts fans and really kind of Square Enix fans. And they had said that they were just going to put it on hold or whatever because they didn't want to basically show their hand right away. You know what I mean? They just didn't want to push all of their stuff out at once. They just wanted to kind of tease people.
Prefer it when companies don't say anything. Don't tell me, like, I know you're working on it. Don't give me some BS trailer that's not even in-game footage and then make me wait 3 years after you do that. Just do what Bethesda did with Fallout last year. Don't say anything and then come
Just
right out.
throw it
and
at it,
punch me in the face and tell me I can have it in a couple months.
And see, that's one of the other things that worried me about Resident Evil 4 or 7 though was that like the first person and all that other stuff and like it's going to be VR compatible, but like how much of that is really going to be in Resident Evil 7? You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like
VR compatible is not that hard to do. You just
No, I
do
know.
what you put on the screen, just put it in.
Right, but what I'm saying is that like think about Silent Hill or whatever or Silent Hills when that was coming out. Norman Reedus was in it and whatever, and they released like the trailer for that. Like none of the game was actually going to be first person, and they had kind of said that it was literally just for the trailer to get you excited about the game and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So like, it's stuff like that just kind of, I don't know, weirds me
it's
out
annoying.
a little bit.
Yeah, I don't like that. I'm trying to think of what else was interesting that I saw.
Well, speaking of Norman Reedus, I forget exactly what it was, but there was that trailer or whatever where it was like him next to a baby with like a USB in its belly button or something like that,
Yeah,
and then the
it
baby
was
disappears.
freaking weird.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
that
that
was Kojima's new game, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It was weird
I'm
as
sure
hell.
it'll be great, but that was just I don't know. That was a little bit much for me.
Yeah, well, maybe you shouldn't watch Broadchurch then.
Great. Yeah, I'm not going to.
I didn't think you were, but yeah, no. And then what was the other one? Something Days or whatever with the robot.
You were all about PlayStation, man.
Days Gone.
Everything. Sony,
Something like that.
Sony.
Listen, that's all I've ever played. I mean, I had an Xbox when Halo 2 came out because you guys basically begged me to get one. And then I was so terrible at Halo that I just said, fuck it. And I went back to PlayStation.
Microsoft, man. We happy few. That game looks sweet.
Yeah, there's a couple
They
games.
had that pirate game. I forget what it's called.
A lot of the
that looked
the-
fun as hell.
the VR stuff coming out is Final Fantasy 15, Batman and Arkham, and Star Wars
Yeah.
X-Wing missions.
Minecraft.
Uh,
Minecraft
Trial-
VR.
Trials of the Blood
Yes.
That was actually one of the other really cool things that I was excited about the E3 announcements or whatever, that they were going to make Minecraft the first game to attempt so that you could play with your friends on a tablet, a PC, and an Xbox.
Yeah. That'd be great. Everybody can come see my Minecraft world.
That's right. And actually, you know what I was just thinking about? Now that you had said the whole little add-on to the Xbox, could you imagine how much better that Minecraft server that you and Lars have would load with that
yeah.
add-on? Because right now it lags like crazy anytime you try to like do anything with it. But if you could actually, get in there and use like the add-ons to
Well,
up
then
the
they're going to
refresh
have
rates and
neutral
all that.
servers, too, so we could just upload it right in there and use the power of the cloud.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
So
But all right, well anyway, so that's all I had pretty much.
that
fellas.
pirate game, though, did you see that? I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's
Pirate game.
crap.
Pirates are in this year.
Pirate, man. Pirate Xbox game. I'm failing epically. Who did it? The guys that made Battletoads and all that stuff.
Oh really?
Yeah. What's it called? I hate my life.
I have no idea.
Oh
sorry.
no. Oh no. No.
I mean, we can search it. E3 pirate
I'm
game.
doing it right now. Sea of Thieves. Yeah, Sea of Thieves looks great. Get to a pirate. There's a pirate ship. It's like open world game type thing. They drop you there like in Minecraft, and you don't know what to do, and you gotta figure it out. They got a pirate ship. You gotta get in the ship, and you gotta figure out how to sail it.
Yeah, have you ever played a game called Tropico?
Tropico?
Yeah. Where you're,
It's
you're
nothing like Tropico.
oh, is it where you're a dictator and you're trying to rule the land?
No. You're just some guy on a pirate ship.
Oh, because the last one I played, I said you can call me Stalin.
I do like Tropico, but this is
Oh, it's Rare. Okay, I thought
Rare.
Rare was done.
no Rare. Xbox owns Rare.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Well, because I know that Rare, because Doobie bought Rare's fucking
Rare Replay.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
He was all about that for a while.
dude.
Interesting. I think he only bought it because of like Banjo-Kazooie though.
Battletoads, man. Battletoads.
All right. Well,
Anyway.
fellas,
I
On
think
that
we
note-
can wrap it up. We
Yeah,
gave
I was-
him an extra 16 minutes.
that's right. Well, we'll see after it's edited and everything. But that's the extra from missing us last week.
Yeah.
So I guess we really side note real quick, and I want to do this on air because like they need to know. We really need to try to come up with a plan for like off weeks or like okay, sorry, can't make it or whatever. Like whether like if you and Chico
I
can
told
do it
Chico,
without me
Go ahead
or
and go. And I don't guess that never happened. I didn't tell you, I don't think.
no, I had no. I just heard it wasn't happening, so I was like, oh okay, well I guess
Oh,
just
I
let me know.
told- I wasn't able to do it, so I was like, Chico, you guys can go ahead. And
Yeah.
then that
For some reason,
happened.
I don't
got you.
recall.
My bad.
I don't recall that.
Well, either way, fellas, if it comes down to it, and one of you guys can't do it or I can't do it, first of all, totally do it without me if I can't do it.
Agreed.
Same.
But like, you know, just Facebook message me if we're on or whatever, because my phone hates getting text messages and it's annoying as hell. But
I mean, it's not like we normally do it on Tuesday, but it's not like we can't do it on a Wednesday or Thursday or Friday or some
You
other
said
day.
you're busy from Tuesdays from now on, right?
For the most part, but I mean, I can like
Well,
quickly
I'm
get
pretty
home.
flexible, so
Yeah, I am
that's-
too. I mean,
we
shit,
can-
I'm not.
Wednesdays is just fine with me too.
Yeah, I'm not going back to work until the 5th, so.
Yeah, I mean, any day super late is always fine with me, but super late for everybody else is always a pain in the ass. So
Yeah, like I prefer to do it a little earlier than we did today, but you know,
yeah,
it's kind of up to Maya.
like Wednesdays, Fridays, pretty much any weekend day.
Okay.
Okay.
Tuesdays,
Wednesdays.
Mondays and Tuesdays.
Wednesdays
kind of
about
shit.
9. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
That'll work. All right, well, good deal. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen and listeners of One Age, you guys have a beautiful night, and we will catch you again on the next podcast. I am Brandon.
I'm Mike.
And your beloved Chico.
Take it easy, guys.